My name is Richardson. My company is New Look Sports. I grew up around here in Onslow County. Went to school out here, played semi-pro football for 13 years. I coached Little League football for 2 years. 1 year, about 5 years ago, I was coaching in Richlands. And just last year, I was coaching the Hurricanes out here. And they wanted me to come back to coach with them again this year, but I was busy with this. And like I said, my company is New Look Sports, where student athletes are built. In Onslow County, the graduation rate is 89%, college rating is 15.3. The national average is 21.1, excuse me. Many of our students will not earn an athletic scholarship if they can't handle the work. Problem worth solving. Traditional youth sports isn't enough. You gotta have a developmental program for the kids, to develop their skills. Sports-specific skills training. I can't talk this morning. It's important. Lack of guidance, staying safe and off the street. College readiness and athletic scholarships, which is very, very important. Because that goes hand in hand. You cannot get a college scholarship to a good school without having the proper college readiness score. And here in Onslow County, what we're slacking at is in mathematics and reading. So, excuse me, I forgot the last one. Career of choice and financial planning. And that means that we also help our kids, even if you don't want to gain an athletic scholarship, or you don't want to go to college for scholarships, we'll help you get into the trade of your dreams and help you with your finances. Youth sports created for development. That's what I was telling you earlier about the sports being developmental sports. This is a developmental sports leagues. So we're not just having your kids dropped off out there to just play a sport. They're actually being developed properly, taught with proper safety and training and everything like that. Training programs with gradual technique progression. That portion right there is the developmental portion of the program of the company, the New Look Sports developmental program, which you gradually grow your skills year by year. Mentors and stay focused, and local organizations keeping them busy. That speaks for itself. Tutor is also a platform for recruiting. The tutoring program goes back with the platform for the kids, helping them with their college readiness and helping them get ready for college. And the recruiting program is something that we try to help get the kids recruited, help them find their calling, and working with financial fortitude. That actually speaks for itself. We explained that earlier. Our target market, children from 7 to 18, low income, no activities and needed guidance, trouble with academics, wanting to further their education for a sound future, other workforce dreams and goals. Our competitor is I9 Sports, but I9 Sports is just flag football. They don't have full contact football or any kind of developmental sports programs. Dre's Football Leadership Academy, great program, but they don't have the remote coaching program that we have. They don't have the tutoring and the mentorship to help kids get recruited. Jacksonville Youth Football, they're really good leagues, but our leagues are all for development. It's all for development for coaches. And if you develop the players and the coaches, that makes for better competition. This is your favorite part, the funding. Football equipment is our biggest overhead. It's practically 92 to 94% of everything for the equipment and stuff like that. That's for all three divisions, for the field setup, for the yard markers and the paint and the end zone markers for 3 different fields, because we want to make sure we can do 3 at a time. And for the footballs, the referees, that's all in that cost, $108,000. To win a championship, let me get that money. All right, sales channels, social media and websites. That kind of speaks for itself. Partner with the Boys and Girls Clubs and more local organizations. YouTube channel. The YouTube channel will be a big thing, a big help, because we can spread our platform globally. Remote coaching in all sports. That's very important, because that's a separate company in itself. The remote coaching program. So Ticket sales and merchandising and concessions. Those are another sales channels that's at the game while people are at the games. Marketing activities, we're holding fundraisers, which we're holding a fundraiser on October 1st, a flag football tournament where you can win cash money. Sponsor military appreciation events, radio stations, get on there, let everybody know what we're doing. Attend local sporting events and high school and middle school games, signs, flyers, and barbershops and salons, because that's where our kids and parents are all going to be in those places. All right, our financial projections: $121,000 for the first year, with $45,000 in overhead. That's for all that pay for all of our expenses, for the referees, for the coaching, and everything like that. And that $76,000 that we're going to be making in the first year is going to be a little lower than that, because what I'm going to do, I want to make sure that I take another $45,000 out of that 76 to pay for the stuff for the following season. These are things that I was just trying to have done, my little itinerary, so to speak, with community, try to get with more community leaders, the programs, the little youth programs and stuff out here, the mentorship program, try to get in contact with the local military, the police department, and local people that can actually come out here and mentor our kids. Community sports networking, try to get out and talk to a little bit more of the athletic directors from the high schools and build a rapport with them, because we want to work with the schools as well. And sponsorship negotiations, which I'm still in the mix of those types of things. I talked to a representative for the Carolina Panthers, but a lot of that is kind of hit or miss there. And these are our partners and sponsors, and this is my friend's team, the Red Devils Low. He wanted me to come out there and coach with them, be the head coach for the semi-pro football team, which they won the championship last year. But I'm too busy doing this right now. So, and ladies and gentlemen, for any questions, just feel free to ask.
Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
What does success in this business look like to you?
The first kid gaining a college scholarship, or the first child being able to live their life dream doing a job that they love, and making sure that these kids actually know how to handle their finances properly.
So that's what the tutoring part will be in.
It's all in the mentorship and all in the developmental program. But mentorship goes with everything, with all of the sports.
Okay.
Don't ask at once, everybody.
So, I'm still thinking a little bit, Chris. If you want to go ahead, Mark, you can.
Okay. So, with these students, is this a mainly family paid for type service that would be provided?
Yeah. You mean like
parents would take care of this, putting their children in this program?
which portion of the program?
Well, any of it. Who's going to pay for it?
Yeah, the parents. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Something like the player registration?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
what would it cost, Chris? Like if
300.
I want to put my kid in your program, what's that going to cost me?
Well, for the developmental portion of the program is $920. But
That's
also
per season, per year?
per year. And it's an 8-week program. That comes along with helping the kids get recruited. We got the recruiting platform. You get remote coaching. You get the mentorship program, and you also get the tutoring program. Because it doesn't matter how skillful our coaches are. If you can't make the grades, then it doesn't matter. And we want to make sure we get the kids early. So the developmental portion of the program gets a lot more, so it's a little bit more expensive. But the recreational youth sports of it, the football, for instance, is $320 because we're providing all the equipment, and we're doing fundraisers to help buy all of the uniforms, and we pay the coaches, and we're paying for the referees and insurance. Out of that $330, portion of it is actually their insurance. So
So Chris, talking about that, pulling that string just a little bit more with respect to the money that people will pay, who is your ideal customer for this program? Families? Making how much money? Do you have an ideal family situation? You know, how much money that family makes to be able to afford this? I have no doubt that it's worth it, but I'm just curious about people investing, being able to invest.
You know,
in
maybe
this.
83,000 a year, because like I was saying, if you want to have your child playing youth sports like football, for instance, a lot of these teams are traveling. They're going to Raleigh and Fayetteville, and you might spend $200 for your child's registration, but you're going to spend $80 in travel. And imagine if you have other children, then you got to buy food, and these gas prices are sky high right now. But this company is localized. It's 3 counties: Onslow, Hanover, and Craven. And that cuts down on the traveling. Everybody comes from Craven, comes to Onslow, Hanover comes to Onslow. And if the parents want to, we get a little bit of feedback from the parents, and if they want to travel further, you know, then they can travel. Hanover can travel to Craven, or Craven can travel to Hanover. We're trying to cut down on the cost. But also, with that being said, this is a service like no other. So we're not trying to sell our coaches and our company short by saying, hey, we're going to sacrifice the insurance for the kids so you can pay less money. Would you rather your kids be safe and play with coaches that's actually developmental coaches as opposed to volunteers, people that don't really know the sport, but they're just out there because their kid is out there? So 83,000.
What resources are you putting into the business?
Like financial? Everything I got, to be honest. And I'm also, I just passed my real estate classes, which is going to help me with this too. But the only reason why I haven't took my real estate exam is because I was waiting for this to end. So now, since this is going to be over, I can go ahead and take my real estate exam to be a licensed broker.
And my final question would be, on your per child, or just say per group of children, how many staff do you need to deal with, like a team of kids or whatever?
Preferably, I would want to have 4. The head coach is the only one that gets paid, though. The rest of the other 3 are volunteers. But I really would rather have 8 on staff, because I want coaches for every position.
I got you.
You know, for hands-on teaching, because this is just like I said, this is a developmental program. So that's the goal: developing our kids, our student athletes.
And what would the volunteers be doing on this team of 4?
On the team of 4, they would be somebody like a offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, or, you know, it depends on whatever the head coach, you know, delegates, what job they delegate for those other volunteers.
And you confident that you would have people who would want to volunteer for those positions and not be paid?
Oh, absolutely. Because you got people in these rec leagues now, nobody gets paid. All of them are volunteers. But, you know, if we hire our coaches and we tell our coaches to bring in their staff and give them the opportunity to pick their staff, but they still got to have a background check, just like everybody else, I think that'll be a little bit more beneficial for each team.
Okay. And that is not the same makeup as the tutors?
No, the tutoring is a whole different portion of the developmental portion of the program. Like the sports development program, that's where the tutoring come into play. Like the players, when we're developing the athletes, you know, like say like a quarterback. We're developing the quarterback, but part of that $920 goes towards their tutors. Because if you remember the business plan, the tutoring for the whole year is $12,000 for 288 hours. So we got roughly 24 hours a month that we delegate out to the kids that actually need help in those subjects. Because if they don't have the proper grades, then it doesn't even matter how good of a player they are. It don't matter how much time we spend developing them. If their grades aren't right, it's all for nothing. And I've seen a lot of kids out here, including myself, that try too late. They took their freshman year and their freshman and sophomore year, and they slacked off, just did whatever, and then they tried to catch up in the last 2 years and they wasn't able to. So that portion of the program, the tutoring portion of the program, the developmental portion, that's going to prevent that. And keeping them safe and focused and off the streets, so that way they don't deviate from the plan that they have with us, and for themselves, most importantly.
I'm good.
Okay.
Are
Thank you
good?
very much.
Yes, thanks for
Nice
answering
presentation.
questions.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, guys.